Nice hat.
Thank you. The little horns there going.
Yeah, it's kind of, it does look like a little top.
Yeah,
It looks like
yeah.
the fedora. Yeah, what is it?
That's just one of the power lines.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, you didn't look at Lenswork then. That was the cover of Lenswork. Jeez,
I'm
John.
celibate when it comes to looking
Jeez.
at that Cole Thompson photography. I refuse to look at Cole Thompson photography.
Uh,
Horrible, and I've decided I don't want that influence in my life.
yeah.
Hey, what's on your mind today, buddy?
Well, I was thinking about the Auschwitz series because, as I mentioned, it's going to be featured
Yep,
at my studio tour this October.
yep.
And I was thinking about all the little events that had to line up perfectly for that to have occurred. My son was in Ukraine serving in the Peace Corps. We went off to visit him.
Okay.
He had 2 extra days, decided to go to Poland, stayed in Krakow, researched what was around, found out that Auschwitz Birkenau was nearby, took a tour bus over, did the tour. On the tour, as I got off the bus, I asked the driver if I could leave my gear on board because I wasn't going to photograph. But when we were going through the tour, I started thinking about where I was at, wondered if their ghost still lingered.
Yeah,
And something just said, you need to photograph their ghosts. That's what happened.
yeah,
Here's the questions I had. What if my son hadn't served in Ukraine?
yeah,
What if my wife and I didn't go and visit him?
yeah.
What if we hadn't decided to take those 2 extra days and go to Poland? We went somewhere else. What if we had decided not to go to Auschwitz Birkenau? What if they had decided to go to Auschwitz Birkenau and I said, nah, that's not my
Yeah,
thing. I'm going to stay home? What if I had asked the bus driver if I could leave my gear on board and he said, sure, I'll watch it for you? What if I had been prompted to photograph ghosts, but said to myself, I don't really know how to do that. I'll have to research that and get back here some other time.
yeah.
All these events had to line up perfectly for that to have occurred. And yet, I don't know that that was the key to this happening. I think the key is that everywhere we go, there is something to photograph. There is something, I don't know if it would have been as impactful, but perhaps so. There's always something there. And we go to places with expectations, with
Hmm.
predetermined images in our mind. I'm going to go to Bandon, Oregon. I want to have nice weather with some good clouds. And we're so preoccupied with what we want, we don't see what's being presented. And that's what I keep thinking about. What's being presented to us?
Wow, yeah, you're right, because you almost couldn't have planned Ghosts of Auschwitz-Birkenau happening, could you?
No, no.
Yeah, it all did, those series of events just happened, and you were open to being presented with this moment, and you asked the key question, which was, I wonder if the ghosts still linger here, and then you made that project happen. And you didn't have any ideas. I remember you had an idea, I think because of Angel Gabriel, that you might be able to do a long exposure. But then, if you remember the story, folks, he had to sit there and pretend to be the loud, obnoxious American. So they actually would walk through instead of stopping in the scene. But yeah, that's interesting. So I think I didn't really know where you were going, but what I think I hear you saying is, being open, as I would say, to being taken by whatever in that moment in time. I think in a previous show you've talked about, if Weston or Adams or whomever, the masters came to our vision retreat at your property, would they be there going, oh my gosh, I got to go get my camera. I got to make this photograph. And we tend to answer, yeah, probably, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So when I'm thinking about all those dominoes that had to be lined up for that final event to occur, none of that matters. Only what matters was the final event. I'm standing there,
Yeah.
and can I see what's being presented? And that happens everywhere we go. There's something there. There's something being presented if we can see it, if we can connect to it. And it
Yeah.
brings me back to our vision retreat where we have people sit for 1 hour,
Ugh, long time.
1 hour sitting, not photographing,
Right.
not checking their email, not just trying to observe. I
Yeah.
would close my eyes and listen
Yes.
to the sounds.
Yeah.
And so, what's being presented wherever you're at?
Yeah, and to add to that, how are you getting in the way
Mm.
of being able to do that? Because that's my problem. I mean, I arrive and immediately my language, my self-talk is, this isn't my kind of place to photograph. Yeah, there's nothing here. The light's not right. Maybe I'll wait till later. And those are all vision blockers, right? As you would say, they're getting in the way of just being and being open to being taken. And that's the hard work for me
Oh,
personally, and I think
yeah.
for a lot of people.
I think about the Lenny series, Lenny
Oh,
approaching breast cancer. I
yeah.
resisted photographing her.
Yeah, you said no, what, four times? Three or four
Yeah,
times?
at least three times, and
Yeah.
she just kept saying, "No, I want you to do it." And I'm a people pleaser, so I thought I'd go and do it. And, and it turned out well.
Oh, it turned out really
It
well.
forced me, though. I wasn't open. That's for certain. I
No, you
was not
weren't.
open.
You were resistant.
Yeah, but you get into it and you
Yeah.
then see the possibilities.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
they're there, and it's not dependent on being at a wonderful place like Yosemite or the
No.
Grand Canyon or the Grand Tetons. Those locations are not needed to come up with a great image.
Yeah, not a self-expressive type photography or
Yeah.
photograph, rather. That's for sure. Good stuff. Good thoughts. I've never heard you talk about, that whole situation that way, but it's good food for thought. Folks, we appreciate you. Thanks for following along.